David, thank you. A Shawano man will spend 15 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to a charge of production of child pornography. Milwaukee FBI agents began investigating 29-year-old Brandon Boogren in June after receiving a tip from Houston. Authorities said a search of a Texas suspect's phone revealed videos of child pornography created and transferred by an individual in Shawano. Prosecutors say the videos showed Boogren sexually assaulting a young child. Investigators say Boogren made the videos at the request of a quote online model who was actually a man posing as a woman. Boogren must also register as a sex offender after serving his sentence.